Hi, I'm Susan from Pan American Gem, and today I'd like to teach a technique for stringing, and this is the drop knot technique. Coincidentally, I'm also going to be teaching how to use the bead tips. Now, bead tips are findings for stringing, and there's two basic kinds. There's this one that is called a sweet bead tip, and it's got a small cup and a hook attached to it. And if you look in the center of it, there's a small hole, and that's where you're going to be running your needle and string through. Now, the other style, I'm not going to demonstrate how to apply this one, but it works basically in the same fashion. It's called a clamshell bead tip. Let's see, right here. And just like the name implies, once you're done stringing, you close the two ends kind of like a little clam would, and the knot, the finishing knot, would be concealed inside the two parts of the little shell. And it does have the little hook for attaching with the clasp as well. So I'm going to work with the sweet bead tip rather than the clamshell, but I wanted to show you the difference between the two. They have the same function basically, they just look a little different. It's all a matter of preference. So the supplies you'll need are bead tips, a strand of beads, cord. I like to use tweezers. I keep handy a safety pin just in case I have to undo a knot. You'll need GS Hypo Cement Glue, also known as watch crystal glue. This is a glue that's special for stringing, and it's elastic, it dries clear, and it'll keep the string from fraying. And the clasp to attach the bead tips to. You'll need a clasp that has rings attached to it because you'll be attaching the bead tips to the rings themselves. When you close the little hook on the bead tip, it doesn't really give you that much room, wiggle room to attach directly to a clasp. So you need something with a ring attached. So the first thing you'll need to do is go ahead and open your card of string, and you're going to go to the very end of the string and tie a knot, just a simple knot. And that's going to be the knot that would hold it in place. Now in this case I am working with a thick cord, number 8 cord, and the reason for that is that these beads have a fairly large hole. So this size of knot is appropriate for the bead tip. If you find that you're working with a thinner string, you might want to do, rather than a single knot, double. Just go over the loop twice, because you wouldn't want the knot to slip through the hole of the bead tip. And let's see here. So to begin here, you also need just a ruler to keep track of the length of your project, and some kind of cutting pliers or scissors to cut the string. So now I'm going to go to the needle end of the string, and I'm going to go ahead and go in through the hook side, because I'll be stringing onto this side first. So go in through the hook side of the bead tip all the way, run the string all the way to the end till you arrive at the knot. Okay, and the knot will be glued at the very end of the project. So you're going to start putting your beads through. Here, I'm going to remove this and use some loose beads. And goes the bead, run the string all the way through, and here comes the first knot. So what I like to do is go with the bead through the loop that you just made, and then you're going to grab, now these are just regular tweezers. They do sell specialized, tweezers or tools, but I don't find the need for it really. And so if I don't need to buy a special tool for it, I'd rather not. These work just as well. So what we're gonna do is hold, see if you can see here, we're gonna hold the string as it comes out of the bead itself as close as possible to the bead, and just pull on the other end all the way until you get as close as possible to the bead itself, and then you remove the tweezer, and with your nail you're going to give it a little push and a pull on the other end. So there's your first knot. Now this technique, I normally use it. Now if you find that it's not as close as you like, you can give it just a little tug, holding it with the wider end of the plier, just a little tug. You got to be careful though. This is thick string that I'm working with. If you're working with thinner string, you might not want to do that. So here goes the next bead, and bring it right up against that first one. We're gonna go again over my fingers, through the loop with the beads, then hold the string, make sure that your loop is going, is tightening. And there, as you get close to the next bead, then you pull the tip off, and with the one nail you'll be pushing, with your thumbnail pushing, and the other hand will be pulling the string, and there you go. That's your next knot. You can do some adjustments. You do need for the knots to be close together. Not so tight that it'll make your necklace kink, but tight enough so that there's no gaps. And demonstrate one more, and then I'll show you how to finish the necklace. Well, in this case I'm making a bracelet just for demonstration. And one more time, since I have just a few beads, I'm tying the knot with the bead side. If you're working on a very long strand, it gets a little cumbersome to do it that way. So then what you'd be doing is tying the string side instead, just like this. But my cord right now is very long, so it's easier for me to do the short end. But it works just the same. Once you have a little loop, go ahead and hold your bead with the tweezers. It's a little guy rolling around. And once again, pull. And then with your nail, you're going to push it as close as you can. And that is the drop knot technique. So usually I use this technique when my string does not go through twice through the beads, because I prefer to do the square knot technique, which has been taught in a separate video tutorial you may visit. But this is a handy technique to know, especially when your beads don't have uniform holes to them, or you just cannot do the square knot technique because the needle doesn't go through. So let me show you how to end the project, how to attach the other end of the bead tip. And so the second bead tip that you string through, you have to go in the opposite direction. So you'll be coming in from the cup side in, to the hook side so that it faces the opposite direction of the other one. And that's so that you have the hook available for hooking. Otherwise it'll land on the inside. But you'll be able to tell that before, before doing your final knot. So bring it up close, and just like before, you're going to do the knot. Let's see. I think I'm going to do it with the other end, with the string end. And bring it through, and here we are. And you treat the bead tip kind of like if it was another bead. You just hold the string really close to the cup, or to the hole part where the string comes through, and pull. Be careful, because see, I'm on the other side. Here we go. Let me get through here, because if you keep pulling, you can get the little string hooked on the hook itself, and then it won't let you tighten. So this is the side that's a little trickier, as you can see, but it is not too terrible. I sometimes use a safety pin to bring it up close, but I think we'll do fine with just the tweezers here. All right, so here we are. I'm going to release the tweezers and pull the knot as tight as I can into the cup area. And there we are. So now that the bead tip is attached, and you have the string and you have the knot in the cup, what I suggest you do is glue the knot. I dab. See, this has a really fine tip on it, and it lets you get really up close. So what I do, I wet the knot itself with the glue, and then a little bit of the string, as it comes out of the knot, I wet that as well. And the reason for that is that it makes it easier for cutting. You get a cleaner cut, and it'll keep the string from fraying. Now, you do need to wait until it dries completely. Here, let me clean the tip of the needle off before I close it. Here we go. There's still a little bit of glue there. Here. Okay. So, so you do need it to dry completely before cutting. I've already done this side, and as you can see, it makes the string harder. And we should get a pretty clean cut. You can get right up close. Right. And there we go. So now that I clipped the end, I'm gonna attach only one side of the clasp, because the other side is still wet, but I think you get the idea. We're gonna go in to the hook and hook it to the bead tip. Like this. And then with your, oh goodness, I forgot to mention the round nose pliers earlier. With the round needle nose pliers, you're going to come in and kind of follow the curvature of the bead tip, and might need to push a little bit, push a knot a little bit out of the way. So that you can get it really nice and close. You can help yourself with your other pliers if necessary, but it does have to meet. The hook side has to meet the cup side for it to grasp. Now, since I'm using a a very thick string. It's made a large knot and doesn't quite leave much room, but play around with it a little bit until you get it just right. And there you have it. So this is the drop knot technique, and this is how you would otherwise also apply bead tips. Even if you don't knot in between, you can string it just the same way and finish it the same way. So I hope you liked this tutorial, and you can get the supplies at our store, panamericangem.com. And you can follow us on Facebook and Pinterest, and I have more tutorials on YouTube. So please, if you enjoyed it, give us a like, visit us at panamericangem.com. Thank you.